In today's video, we're going to get an introduction to 4Command, the latest extension developed by Weebler. Yannick Gaultier is here. We'll get to him in just a second. Hey there, Joomla fans. Tim Davis here. I'm a Joomla fan too. Thanks for tuning in to Watch Me Work live stream number 255 here on the Basic Joomla Tutorials YouTube channel, where I show you my favorite extensions, tools, and tips for building and maintaining Joomla sites. I also build Joomla sites, maintain them, migrate them, update them. If you're looking to hire someone short-term or long-term, drop me an email, tim@cybersalt.com, and let's talk. Now, you notice I just disappeared there because I'm using Zoom today, so when I put my picture up there, I disappear. Today's video is brought to you by mysites.guru. Head on over to mysites.guru, get a free site audit for your Joomla site, and while you're there, check out all the tools and information that will save you time and money managing one or multiple Joomla sites. All right, let's get back to the screen here. I have not been live streaming on a Wednesday for 3 weeks now. I've missed you. Almost was going to live stream the last Wednesday in May when I was in Halifax, but that just didn't work out. And in fact, if I just show you the picture, let's go back to that. That is a picture I took on my trip in Lunenburg, Nova Scotia. That ship is the Blue Nose 2. And if you know anything about Canadian currency, the Blue Nose 1 appears on the back of every dime. So I was going to use that for my background today, but because I'm using Zoom, that OBS background doesn't show up. But anyways, I did miss everybody. I'm glad to be back here. I have lots of things to talk about, including the fact that I rented a Tesla the whole time that I was away, just to have some fun and to experience that. But I don't want to keep our guests waiting. Super nice. I've had this lined up, and so I'm really happy that my first week back after vacation, I actually have someone smart for you to listen to. And so let's see here. And this is the whole. There we go. Yannick Gaultier is there. There's lots of things about I like about Yannick. The least of which is that he has a British Columbia license plate on the wall from his when he lived here in my province years ago. In chat, hello Bjorn. Hello, Yannick, Ivor, and Stefan. Stefan's back from China after 2 months. Yes, we missed you, Stefan. Ivor says he missed me. Thank you, Ivor. That's very nice. All right. So, without further ado, Yannick, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself for those people that are new, about Weebler, and then I'm excited for everybody to see this this new extension you've got. Yes. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Apparently there's no sound on you. Okay. Yeah, but that's all right. Let's see. No, that's me needing to set something to capture here. All right, so let me just, everybody, I did remember to check to make sure my microphone was working, but not that. So no, it's totally me, and I just have to figure out the source to. Let's see, what is this here? Let's see. Window capture. No, that's not that. I think I need to add a source. Let's go add source, audio, output capture, desktop. Okay. Now, let's see. General output. Oh my goodness. Audio. Desktop. Audio. Oh, I bet you this is because I bet just because I have this going to my headset, which was the whole purpose was to avoid the echo that happens with that. So, sorry everybody, 1 second here. Desktop audio properties. Okay, now try saying something.
Hello, everybody.
I think is that working, everybody? We'll just watch and see what they say there. Okay, yeah. So what happened, everybody? What happened, everybody, is that if I have Yannick on the speaker here, it creates an echo on the YouTube recording. So I put my headset on. So actually, the sound that's being captured now is also what's going to my headset. So, all right. So
I can see that you're now mastering OBS and streaming, and being able to fix those little things on the fly is really tough. It's really tough when you're live.
I'm getting there. All right, Yannick, welcome.
Okay.
Tell us about yourself, and
thank you.
And then get right into it.
So, like I said, like you mentioned, I'm a French guy. I live in France, but I've been spending some time in beautiful British Columbia, quite some years back, actually. So that's why I still have the other side. Yeah, right here I have the whatever. Yeah, here I have the license plate for my car when I was there. So I've been doing Joomla extensions since 2005, something like that. First as a hobby and for personal websites, and then around 2009, at the end of 2009, it became my job, my daily job, and I've been doing that since then. Essentially, I'm doing extensions which are focused on SEO and content, mostly SEO. There are for the longest time, for 15 years actually, I maintain an extension called Asset404Ceph, which was quite commonly used by many people. And then about 4 years ago, at the start of the pandemic, 2020, I basically renewed the entire set of extensions that I'm doing, and making a foray into AI, like, as we discussed last year, and the extension I wanted to present to you today is new. It's something quite different. It's an extension that's called 4Command, and its purpose is to make the life of, well, first of all, it was meant to make my life much easier, because I'm not like I said in another talk, I'm not a really good Joomla administrator. So I do extensions. I don't make a living building websites and administrating them. So I'm not a very good Joomla administrator. I know Joomla code inside out, but not so much administrating. So it's an extension that's meant to do two things: make it easier for not like new administrators to find things and run things, and for experienced or even very experienced administrator to make common operations much faster to find and to run and to execute. So common operations should be much faster. So make it easier and make it faster. And to achieve that, I'm using the basis of the extension is something that's called a command palette. I don't remember seeing anything like that in the Joomla world, but it's something that we developer encounter quite commonly in other types of software. So I set out a few months ago to build something like that from Joomla, and I released the first version a couple of months ago, and it's been increasing in scope quite rapidly. Just earlier today, I released a new version. 2.0 with new features that you haven't seen or heard. Oh, wow. And I'm sure you're gonna like that.
Well, that's funny, because when I asked you if you wanted to show it on the channel, about a month and a half ago, and Joe Sunny made you promise that you would show it first in the Joomla user group for small business users. So at least I get a scoop of version 2 today.
Yeah, exactly. you'll be able to share your audience, your listeners. They'll be able to see something that that was not presented earlier. So it's really brand new, and it's actually quite nice. I'm very happy with it. Okay, so I think at this stage I'm going to put that aside and start sharing my screen.
Okay, and then let's see. If I remove this pin.
Okay, hang on. Let me share my screen first. I need to share this one because I got plenty of screen. Yep.
And then let me just see. No, that's not it. Immersive. I don't want that. I just have to try to make me. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to go side-by-side speaker. Okay, I think that's the best it's going to go for full screen. So
yeah, that's it. If it, I think, oh yeah, that's best.
Yeah.
I hope everybody can see. I have a window. I think it's good enough. I hope it's good enough anyway. Yeah. So okay. Anyway, so let's get started. So this is just going to be a tour of the extension while it's running. This is what you see here is a Joomla 5 website. It's a stock Joomla site with the test content with it, plus a few articles that I've written over the last few demos. But it's just a stock Joomla site with our extensions installed on it. So the extension itself, it's called 4Command. I'm going right here to very quickly go to the component page, but there's not much on the component page because it's meant to be live and to exist without you knowing about it. The only thing you have here is the configuration, and there's not much of it. You got system things here where you can select colors and things like that, and the help system. It's common to all our extensions. And then you got here a few settings where you can select and modify shortcuts if they, because 4Command uses a lot of shortcuts. So if these shortcuts conflict with your system, then you can change the shortcuts that are used. So let me go back to, for instance, the article page. And after installing the extension, after installing 4Command, what you'll see is this. The only sign that you see of it is this small module that you'll have. One thing I forgot to say, or two things, let's say, is that 4Command, like all of our extensions, works the same on Joomla 3, 4, and 5, and 6 when it's there. So it's really working the same on all Joomla versions. And 4Command is at least for now, it's a backend only extension. So it's really meant for administrator to speed up their process or make it easier. So the only sign of its presence that you're going to see is this little module here that you have here. And there are two ways to activate or enable open it. It's either you click on that module, but that's not the main way. The main way is actually to use your keyboard and to run shortcuts. So I'm going to open it up here with the Alt Control X default shortcut, which works on Windows. Just one word on Macs. All the shortcuts are translated from Mac to Windows and Windows to Mac, so that you can have people working on the same site, and some of them use Windows and some of them use Mac, and it will work the same. They will have different keyboard shortcuts. Like on a Mac, they will use Command, for instance, most of the time, and Control. So it's all working the same on Macs and Windows machines. So here is the command palette, and at first sight, it's really simple. You've got an input field here, and you got a list of things. So I would like to point out that, and this list of things that you can do on a Joomla website is essentially what you can do on a stock Joomla install. And let me, maybe zoom on that. By default, with just a couple of extensions installed, 4Command already found nearly 800 pages and actions that you can take on a Joomla website. So that's a lot.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But it's one of the reasons. You remember I said make it easy for new administrator and make it fast for experienced administrator. Well, just having 800 options, and again, there's no e-commerce extension or things like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of things. So the way it works is that there are plenty of these things. I'm going to scroll. There's a recent actions section here. There is a run command section here that I'll come back to later. And then from there, a few shortcuts, if you will, to let you create a new article, category, custom field, things like that. But then after that, essentially you'll see a list of all the pages on your on your Joomla admin. So it's I'm scrolling very quick, but you can see that you have the module edition, all the modules. Like for instance here, if I'm scrolling back here, I've got the banner component has a banners page, categories, etc., etc. So you're not supposed to scroll down and find what you want to do. The way it works, the way a command palette works, is by typing something. And assume you are a new. Let me move the mouse out. Assume you are a new Joomla administrator and you want to install an extension. You type something like install extension and you press enter. And you go to the install extension page. So I have to say it's not a fast website. It's a demo website running on a shared host, but it's not fast. And so this is how it works. You open the palette wherever you are and you type something. Let's say instead of installing this, I want to discover install, assuming I know how that discover exists, of course. And then you go to discover that way. Maybe I want to manage language, assuming I have a multilingual. So here I typed manage man language, or I can type instead lang manage, for instance. It's got a pretty good search feature, and then it shows you whatever matches whatever you typed. You can go to manage languages, or you can go to select, whatever to run or to work on all these pages that Joomla offers you. So that's the basis of it. It's about running either clicking on the module here or typing the keyboard shortcut. That's always available. It's always available. Typically, let's do something simple. Go to content articles, and I'm going to the content articles page, and this is my article manager, and I am opening up an article, and from here as well the shortcut is available, and I can do things from there. So if I don't, I'm going to have a few examples of that later, but I'm just showing here that it's always available to you. So of course that's basically the first part. It makes things a bit easier to find, because you don't have to figure out or know where each thing is, which Joomla page to go, which succession of menus you have to go through. Now it also makes things fast. Like I said, I am right here, and I want to work on a contact category, for instance. And I'm going to access the component, so I can switch from one thing to the other, and it's prompting me here to confirm because I'm actually editing something. So it wants to make sure I have saved my stuff, and then I can switch from one page to the other. Now, one thing you can also very simply do is, if I want to go back to the content articles, I don't have to go back. I can also, by using these buttons, maybe open in a new tab. So if I want to keep what I'm doing right now, but I want to open the list of articles in another tab, let me check. This is working. Yeah, you see that. I use the other button to to open whatever actions I wanted to take in a new tab. Likewise, you might be from here, for instance, you want to work on the access levels. It shows you here whatever you have, the access levels from Joomla. So it's easy, but it's also very fast. Now, one thing I wanted to show you here as well is that if I go to the articles, the content articles, for instance, from here, and let's say I'm editing an article, one of the things you could be able to, you might want to do at this stage is configure the articles themselves. So 4Command will list for you all and let you access all the article or all the actually components configuration. Like you can access all the component configuration articles, and if you don't know, this is this page here where you have all these articles. I'm just showing you that to try to explain that. I'm just showing you that to show that 4Command is rather extensive, and I'm really loading all the pages that you can find on a Joomla site. But so that's already something, right? But I think quite immediately I figured out that there would be more to do, and at this stage, and that's where the run command section enter. So not only 4Command lets you access quickly and rapidly all the things that you can do on a Joomla site, but it tries to do things for you. So you have a set of commands, what I call predefined actions, that you can run without leaving what you are doing. The first one is simple. It's deleting the cache. So if you have, I need to click here. So if you want to delete the cache because you are editing an article and you are done, you press here, and you can see here that it tells you that the cache was cleared. And the entire point here is that this avoids you. Let's say I am editing an article and I want to see the result of that, and I need to clear the cache. I'm making some changes here. What I have to do to clear the cache is close this, maybe open this in another tab or keep that open in a tab, click System, and then Clear Cache, and then actually clear the cache. You can see how this is going to be, I hope that's the right page.
It's a lot of steps.
It's a lot of steps. So you can, you can make that a little bit easier by keeping, several tabs open, for instance, things like that. But now, and it can be even faster in that example, these things without, doing anything. Another example that I like is I am editing an article here, and I want to switch to code mirror. So what I have to do is simply type mirror. It selects mirror. It tells me that it switched. I hope you can see that.
I see it.
It switched, and then the only thing I have to do is reload the page so that I'm now using my code mirror. And of course, then I'm going to type tiny, because I want, after making some changes, I want to go back to tiny MCE. So I again reload the page, and here I am back. So these are some of the probably 20 or so predefined actions that I have.
Nice. Now there's some questions in chat, and we will get to those. I'm going to let you just keep going. So everyone just keep asking your questions, and I'll make sure that we get to them.
I can do that. I can do some very quickly. How does it work on installation with other admin languages? The extension is available in 22 languages. And all these search things that you have seen, it works in your language. If you're one of the 22 languages that's 4Command is available in, and yes, it's actually search language aware.
Cool.
So
and
everything.
You speak all 22 of those languages, don't you?
Of course, I do I do.
Mr. AI.
Yeah, I'm not going to change that right now, but trust me, everything is translated, and the search works on translated content. All the list is based on the Joomla menu, so that's going to be translated, and all the actions that are created are like check. Well, not everything is translated, but check in, using the editor, use none, all that is in your language, as long as you're one of the 22 languages available. So there are plenty of actions. Let me see. There are first something like new, which are kind of shortcuts to create new article, new category. And if you select, I'm always pressing enter, because after a while you realize it's so quick to do that. But of course you can click. So if I click new article, when I'm just going to the edit page, and I can create a new article. And this is working for new category, new custom field, etc. One interesting thing, it's a small gimmick or bonus, but I think it's interesting as well. I'm not sure, Tim, you've seen that before. So I'm creating a new article here, and I want to add some sample text. So there's a built-in lorem ipsum generator, sample text generator. You enable it, you select the number of paragraphs, how many words in the paragraphs, and whether you want that to be HTML or whether you have a few settings here, and you send that to the editor, and you have some sample text.
That lorem ipsum generator, that's in 4Command?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. That's one of the commands. Wherever you are, you open it, you type lorem, or I think sample text will work as well. Whatever. Yeah.
But that's something that you've added to the extension.
Yes. Okay, it's absolutely part of, and when you can see here, it's totally integrated. It's something that I've added to extension. Yeah.
I thought maybe it was something in the core that I've missed or something, but
nope. No. It might come someday, but it's not there yet. So like I said, you got a few options. You can select number of paragraphs, number of words per paragraph, whether you want HTML or raw text, and whether you want some titles or not for each paragraph. Yeah, so it's absolutely, and each time you do that, if I recall correctly, yeah, it's gonna append the newly generated text to the content. Okay, which gives me a good opportunity to show you something that's also added by 4Command, and that's because I now have a new sample article. I think I already have a sample article, so I'm going to call it number 2. One other thing that 4Command does to help you speed up your process is that it adds, let me zoom if I can manage that. So you can see there are some keyboard shortcuts added to all the standard Joomla toolbar buttons. Not all of them, but most of them. So the standard one here, because it's the one that you've been all using everywhere, is that now that I have my article created, I can just press Control S and it's saved. And you have to learn these because they are shortcuts that are made to go faster, so you don't need to use them. But I have Alt-Shift-X, for instance, which is going to take me back without saving, which is the close shortcut. So I'm just mentioning it, but it's a nice thing. Like the Control S one is really nice because you do it very easily. You're always saving. So I find that very nice. This works on all Joomla toolbars. So if you go to contact or banners or your template, whatever form that's using a Joomla toolbar, it's going to work the same. And any extension that's using the Joomla standard toolbar is going to work the same. What else? Yeah, so I have this article here, and but I don't like it, so I'm going to delete it or to trash it. And one of the things that I didn't like that much with Joomla is that viewing trashed items is not that easy. So if you got a bunch of trashed items, then what you can do is just type show trash. And what that does is, if you're on a page where there are trashed items, on a list where there are trashed items, you just type that and it will show you the trashed items by selecting the filter here. Again, this works for categories. This will work for field. I think there's a trash for film. I'm not sure. This will work for contacts. This will work for banners. Everywhere there is a trashed item selector, then you can do that with 4Command.
Nice.
Yeah. So
yeah, unfortunately, Peter Van Westen of Regular Labs had a really nice thing, better trash, but he's not continued it for Joomla 4. It was nice, but again, just to be able to quickly go and find that, it's such a such a pain to select the filter, blah 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 blah, and do all that to get to it.
Yeah, and then there is the other action that's associated with the trash, which is there are a few, but essentially empty the trash. So if I just select this, and that requires confirmation, then you press this button and I can go back to the trash. No, I want to go back to the trash, and there's no more trashed items because I used the clear trash actions. So there's some improvement. I don't remember what Peter extension was doing, but maybe in the future I can add more features to that.
All it did was that you didn't have to. You could empty the trash without selecting everything or anything. It was just a button.
Okay, so if what you want to do is empty the trash, then you've got here, so you've got empty trash articles, all trash articles, contact in content categories, or you can empty just the articles, just the categories, or the contacts. I use, most of the time you're gonna empty everything, I guess. But
the recent actions area is really, really nice too, because if you're doing things over and over again, have that right at the top. That's great.
Yeah, absolutely. It happens a lot. Okay, so in addition to these commonly used actions, there are a few things that I personally find bothering, but I use often, and I think many administrators are using them quite often. So there are essentially global Joomla configuration items that you may want to use often. Things like enabling debug. So you're familiar with the debug option in Joomla Global Configuration. You're developing your website and you got a 500 error. And what you need to do when you have an error of 500 on your page is to enable system debug so that Joomla shows you the actual error. But to do that, you need to go to Global Configuration and then find the setting and then saves and come back to what you were doing. Instead, now you can press, find enable system debug, and if you go to the front end, you're going to see the debug toolbar here, with all the step and then from everywhere. I mean, I'm doing this from here, but I could from the list, but it's no difference if I do it from here. Debug. So I'm going to go show you a shortcut as well. There are even shortcuts for shortcut. For most things on the list, if you do off, it's going to select automatically and very quickly the negative option, the disable option. And I'm going to go to that a bit more in details now. Other options that I found I want to switch very often is the cache. Now, if you type cache, then you have several options here. You can, and I'm talking about here the Joomla global configuration cache, the one that says either disabled or set to conservative caching or to progressive caching. And same thing, if you want to modify that, you want to disable it temporarily to see if something works, then what you have to do is go to global configuration, and then select the option and save and come back to what you were doing. And here you just select, I want to set that to conservative. So I press the button and the cache is set to conservative, which we can check by going to the global configuration, type glob-conf, for instance, or conf glob. And gee, I never remember, it's in system. Yeah, so this is it. Okay, so there's debug cache and what else? Oh yeah, there is also the error level. So you can change here very easily error reporting, set it to system default, to the maximum, or to none, depending on what's happening on the site. So I'm going to then take this opportunity. You probably have noticed when viewing the list that there are some keyboards shortcuts mentioned in front of many things. So what I have shown to you until now, by using the command palette to select things and to do actions, there are a few things that you can do right away. Like typically clearing the cache is not something that you want to open a command palette for, to do that, because it's something you do very often. So you just press Alt Control C. No, I'm not. Oh. Okay. This is not a bug.
It's a feature.
Not really. I just discovered that Alt Control C is a shortcut in Zoom. So nothing was happening, but in fact, Zoom was telling me you can't create a clip. So let's try another one. Yeah, so okay, at least one is working. So I'm going to have to look into the Zoom thing. But if you go, this sidebar that you have here, one of them here is showing the shortcut list. And you got all these things that lets you navigate very quickly and do some actions very quickly. So Alt Control S will take you to the system page in Joomla. Alt Control C is going to delete the cache. Alt Control G is taking you to the global configuration. One that I use often is Alt Control I to install an extension. So if you want to install an extension, you go there. If you want to update your extensions, it's Alt Control K, and you just go and check for updates. So there's about maybe a dozen or 15, I don't know, of these shortcuts that give you direct access to many things. Like you can access extensions. You can, with Alt Control P, you go to the plugins page. With Alt Control M, you go to the modules page. You go Alt Control A, which I use a lot, takes you to the article manager, categories, menus, and so on. Users also, if you use if you manage users, and so on. Like, let's go back to the article manager, for instance, and that's all you have to do. So these are for the shortcuts. Let me see. Yeah, after that, I have a quick thing that I'm pretty proud of, but it's not for everyone. So if I type Alt Control Yeah, it's working. Oh, I was afraid Zoom was doing something on me. So Alt Control U is taking me to the users page, and I have 3 users here. And as you can see, one of them, the first 2 are activated, but this one, it's a test account that I just created, and it's not been activated yet. So now, and that's a pain because maybe the activation email went to spam, and the user has no idea they need to click on that link or whatever. Something happened, and in Joomla you can't do anything about it. But if I select this user, or maybe several if I want, I can ask to resend activation email, and I just have to click this line or press enter, and it's going to prompt for confirmation, and then it's going to send the activation email again to all users that are not activated yet. So trust me, I've shut down my email software, but I'm going to receive an email. That's the email that Joomla is normally sending. It means you can resend these emails easily, and users can actually activate their accounts that way. That's one of the predefined actions that you can't do with Joomla without any plugin, and I'm not sure there's any plugin that actually works for Joomla 3, 4, and 5. Okay. There are 2 things I wanted to show you more. That's how, because it's something that many administrators spend a lot of time to do. So it's about managing modules and plugins. 4Command lets you access and manage modules and plugin directly, and templates as well. So let's say you want to edit, you're somewhere and you want to edit your template. You know that it's Cassiopeia, or you say edit template, and that takes you to editing your template. So that's really nice, and that's fine. But most of the time you're not going to edit your template, you're going to work with modules and plugins. So 4Command also lists all your plugins. I'm typing edit plugins so that you see a list. So each and every plugin that's installed on your Joomla site is available here. Let's say you want to edit, I don't know, a privacy plugin, and that's where it can help new administrator as well, because honestly, I don't know half of these plugins. You know, we always complain that WordPress, you have to install lots of plugins to do anything. But Joomla, well, they come, all these plugins come with Joomla, but to find your way around these plugins is sometimes it's not that easy. So that's a big help, I find, to be able to search and directly access all these plugins that you have on your Joomla site. Let's say now this is a multilingual site, so for instance it's really easy to access the language filter plugin or the language code. So doing this, let's go to the language filter. Maybe you want to change some settings on the language filter, and you can do that easily. But I have found that there is that the most common actions after the initial configuration with plugin, let's type filter, is to sometimes change a setting, but also enable or disable these plugins. And so for each plugin on your website, 4Command is going to create 3 lines, 3 actions. Edit this plugin, publish it, or unpublish it, which means that if you want to turn the language filter off, the only thing you have, let me do that from the start. I want to turn the lang filter off. I press enter, and the language system is going to be turned off. And that's it. And my site is no more multilingual. So I'm going to turn it on again, and my site is multilingual again. So you can imagine doing that for the cache plugin. You can see the 3 actions. You know, this is the Joomla system plugin, cache plugin, the one that caches entire page. And you can see here the 3 options that you have directly here. So if you run your site normally with the cache plugin, the system cache plugin enabled, but you have a problem and you want to turn it off, you do cache plug unplugin, and that you can do from anywhere you are. Like even editing an article, you can do that without moving from the article edition page. Anywhere you are, I can go back to the article manager, open an article, and then I still open this and say cache plugin off, and that's it. Okay, now that's nice.
Does it create those three options for third-party extensions that have plugins?
For any single plugin that's installed on your site, anything, any type of plugin. The content plugin, content categories, etc., etc. I think you can. Let's see. If I say the only extensions that I have here that are third-party are mine. They are like for SEO. So you see, you've got the system plugin for SEO, and you've got the installer plugin for SEO. So any plugin will be listed here.
Cool.
Again, like you can see, it's mostly Joomla content. It's the stock Joomla website.
Yeah.
But if you have Hikashop installed on, you'll have all the Hikashop plugins installed and listed here. And you also have all the component menu items that Hikashop adds to the site that will be listed as well. It's done dynamically, and it's read directly from the Joomla database on Joomla 3, Joomla 4, and Joomla 5.
So with Hikashop, that would increase the available actions to about 10,000.
I don't know, but that's a lot because it has lots of plugins.
Yeah, it does.
It has lots of plugins. We'll get back to that. So let me. So I did that for plugins, but maybe even more often you're going to be working with, when creating content, you're going to be using modules. And so on this site, I don't have many modules, but I have this login form here. So sometimes you're going to be, and so it works exactly in the same way with modules that it does with plugins. So if I type login, I can see that I have two items here. I have a login form module. So it's a module, and I can edit it. So if I click here, I'm going to go to the module here, and I have some pre-text, and I have some, let's say, some post text. I press Control S to save, and I reload my home page, or my page here, and I have my post text that's here. Okay, so now I can also as well, it doesn't make much sense to do it from here, but if I type login off, then you can see that I can edit the module and I can directly unpublish it. That's all I have to do. From anywhere, anywhere you are at any time, anything. Okay, it didn't. Okay, what's happening? I'm not sure. Maybe I off. I don't know why it doesn't work. Maybe there's another one. Yeah, I unpublished the English. I unpublished the English version. Yeah, okay. See, you still have to pay attention.
Well, that's the downfall of speaking more than one language.
Login. So if I should come back, it doesn't. So there's something and yeah, here it is. So it works for any module that you have on your site. And the idea is giving you, full and quick access to any of these modules, because most of the time when you are administrating or developing a website, you're going to spend a lot of time traveling through the these pages, the modules list and the site list and the plugins list to do your work. And so that's pretty much it. But so this feature was not in what was shown to JoZone and the others at the website design company group, but so that was not available. And the next one is also not available, and that's the site search. So until now, all these options that you have seen here, they are all what I call predefined or pre-calculated. When you load the page, 4Command is just reading the menus and reading the list of plugins, and it's static. It's happening here. And you can see already that we have like 800 options. And if you have Hikashop and other extensions, maybe you have a couple of thousand. So that's a lot, but that's quite manageable for modern systems. But what if you want to search through your articles? Because if you want to search through your articles, you might have 10,000 of them or 20,000 of them. I have customers with more than 20,000 articles on their websites. So that's a lot. And so to handle that, there's what I call a global search feature. And what you do is you start your query with a question mark. And when you type this question mark, 4Command switches to what's called the search mode. And here, I'm going to search for blog. So that's an Ajax search, and it tells you, it looks up for you the articles and the categories that matches your query, and you can edit them directly from there. You can go and edit them from there. So this works again for now only with Joomla content. Let's say I have these others article that I can access from here. This works for now only with Joomla content, articles and categories. And of course, this will be extended. It's extensible. Other extensions can connect to that. It's very easy. And in the coming weeks, I'll be adding support for some of them and expand that. But I have found that it's much faster and easier to navigate the site this way. As soon as you have a few dozens or a few hundred articles, it's extremely easy. So that's about it. There's another bonus. If instead of the question mark that we just saw to open up or to search your live content, if you press equal, then you have a small calculator. And nice. The content, you can paste the content and use the content wherever you like. That's it.
Well, I mean, to be able to search the content like that is great, because I know of one site that I have that has quite a few. It has thousands of pages on it now. It's one I've had the longest, and just to go and find an article or to change a publish date on it when I'm getting ready to send a newsletter, that would be really great.
Yeah, you can, and there's probably something that you haven't noticed, but obviously you can use Joomla search. Like if you go to the article manager, I'm going to do that quickly with the Control-Alt-A shortcut, but you can obviously do it otherwise. You can obviously, so there's one thing you may not have noticed. It's also something that 4Command does on the list pages. Whenever there is a search field, it will focus it upon loading the page. So if you don't have that, whenever you arrive on the article manager and you want to search for something, this is what happens when you open up the article manager on a regular Joomla website. And if you want to search for something, then you have to click here.
Yeah. And
then type, blog, whatever. So on all list pages, like categories, you can see here it's focused. I didn't mention it also, but I also have shortcuts for new, and I think for a couple of things as well. Yeah, like publish and unpublish. There are shortcuts that you can use. So you need to, obviously, shortcuts, you need to learn them, but trust me, the things you do like every day, you're gonna learn them very, very quickly. I did, and I don't have a really good memory.
Yeah, and as I've been playing around with it, I've had to remember that it's there for me to use. So I thought, oh, now I'm making another
Yeah.
ACY mailing newsletter, and I gotta have to, oh, wait a second, I think I can just type in ACY. Oh, there it is. Great.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, exactly,
you're
exactly.
so-
And you have
so-
all the
No, go ahead.
No, you have all the submenus of ASCII available. Well, obviously, AC mailing is going to be one of the extensions where I'll probably add this. Typically, a search, for instance, like is going to be available in the search content, like the newsletters. Titles are going to be search. That's one of the obvious extensions that we want to include in the search. So indeed, what I have found is that it's pretty hard to let go of the mouse. That's the biggest obstacle. It's pretty much, but you don't have to use the keyboard all the time. First, you can always click on it from here, obviously, and then sometimes it's just faster. If you want to go to the dashboard and you're holding the mouse, obviously you're gonna just click the menu, and the menu is open and everything. You're gonna do that. But there are plenty of things, especially the keyboard shortcuts, that it becomes natural very, very, very quickly. And anyway, so that's it for now. It's going to be evolving rapidly. The next steps are to add more, or to the live search is going to be extended to other extensions. That's the plan. And then I have a few features, admin actions that I plan on adding, but suggestions are welcome. The idea here is it's equally to access Joomla pages easily and quickly, but also to add features such as, I have a one-click action or a one key press action to enable the cache or enable gzip or set the error reporting, and things like resending activation email, showing the trash. So it's just not only accessing pages, but it's also doing things that A, you do often, and or B, require maybe 2 or 3 page loads to do with a normal Joomla website with a classical user interface from Joomla. So that's what I have in stock for you.
Well, another solid extension. Now, Imran said 4Command will be a tremendous component if it is, I can't read with it, if it's bound with any AI platform.
Well, we do have an AI extension already, so we do have a pretty strong and big AI assistant. So if you're interested, just go to weebler.com/4AI. And if you want to learn more or see more of it, or 4Command, although I gave you like an hour of it, so you're probably tired with that. But the address is weebler.com/4Command with a in both cases with a 4, the number at the start.
Yeah, I've posted the link in chat there for people to go to.
Okay.
So now, let's see here. I'm not sure how to bring myself back up, but anyways.
Okay, I need to stop. It's me. I need to stop sharing.
Oh, that's okay.
Yep, and
I'm up here. That's fine. No, you keep sharing. That's fine.
I stopped. So.
Oh, you stopped. Oh, okay. Well, that's.
I stopped already, but that's fine. That's fine.
All right, let's get ourselves side by side here. How the heck could? Oh, you're sharing now. Okay, that's good.
Okay, I'm not sure what's happening with Zoom because it says that it probably died. At least the user interface died. So let's not touch anything.
Let's see. Yeah, you know what? It's probably my Zoom has been acting up. So we should be fine. You still there? Yes, I can. Okay. Yeah.
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I think
Okay, because it looks like my screen is dead, and the sharing, like the live YouTube is stuck on me sharing.
yeah. Well, that's
So
okay.
it's not working.
No, it's still streaming that. I think it might be my on my end here. So we'll just keep talking and people.
No, I can tell you that Zoom meetings is not responding. I've got messages on my machine that Zoom meetings is not responding,
Oh,
and
okay.
it's offering me to shut down the program. So if we have audio, I think we're gonna keep going with the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there is. What do you think? Is there any question that that may need
There
addressing?
you go. Well, I'm okay. At least there's a big picture of me on there now. At least people, it won't look frozen. So let me.
Yeah.
So this extension is a big change from sort of like your other family of extensions, because you've got 4SEF, you've got 4SEO, and other things. So is this take a lot of shifting in your mind when you're switching on working between the two, or?
No, I wouldn't say that. If you look at all these extensions, first thing is that they share the same user interface and the same code inside for everything that's related to the user interface. And so the technical part of it is absolutely shared between everything. And then the switching, I mean, I'm not, all this initially comes from having trouble administrating my website, essentially. And then because I see how it's done in other type of software, I thought I could bring to Joomla this sort of command palette technology, and then you build from there. It's an easy way to access things, and then you figure out, well, there are things that I have to do on a regular basis, and then I could put that package that up into one command, and it's going to be easy to disable the cache or enable debugging because I need to debug something. Switching editor from TinyMC to GodMirror, it's nothing, but it's a pain because you have to move to another place, and so that's the sort of things that come from experience. And resending email is something that I have to do on a regular basis because people register on my website, and many times they just don't click the button, or the email goes to spam. So I have to resend the email, and until now it was not possible. So that's where it comes from.
So what's the next extension you're gonna do?
I have no idea so far. Yeah, I have no idea.
Oh, there we go. We got your video back now. So
okay, yeah, because I stopped. Yeah, so it.
Uh-oh. He'll come back in. Yeah, I think he'll probably just start up Zoom again. He'll be back in, no problem. All right. Well, everybody, while we wait for him to come back, I think that's pretty cool to be able to save so much time. And I'm a big fan of the Weebler extensions and the contribution that Yannick has made to our community. All right, let me see here. Bjorn mentioned a link. Oh, here he comes back. Now I just have to find where he is. Oh, here we go. We'll put him back in here. I told them that you would be back, and there you are. Good.
Sorry.
That's
I'm back
right.
now. Yeah. I just killed Zoom, and it's working better now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I'm not really sure. I already have quite a bit of them on my hands, and I'm mostly an SEO guy, so
yeah. And
the AI part is really interesting as well.
It's only you and your wife working in the company, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's
Right.
correct. So
So
it's quite a bunch of large extensions to
yeah,
maintain, and these are moving fields. Both SEO, because for SEO, my extension is covering lots of ground on the SEO field. It's essentially like multiple what would have taken multiple extensions before. They are all packaged in one.
yeah,
And for AI, of course, is a field that moves quickly. So there are often things to adjust and new things that you can do. But
yeah.
4Command is I'm really happy how it turned out, just because I'm happy to use it. So that's already something anyway.
Nice.
Just to mention that, yeah, I think this component is using too much memory. I'm not sure where that comes
I think
from.
no. I think he's talking about why your Zoom was crashing or something like that. So
Oh, but Zoom is not related to the browser.
yeah.
It's a separate app, and I have plenty of memory. There's no problem with that.
All right. So generally, how do you think things are going for Joomla?
Oh,
What are your thoughts and feelings about Joomla these days?
well, the general, so the first thing I'd say is that there's a reason why I worked a lot and I paid a lot of attention that all my extensions are working on Joomla 3, 4, and 5, because I believe that the largest part of the Joomla users or Joomla website are still on Joomla 3, and many people are not keen on changing, or they are keen on changing and upgrading, but it's a tough job, and it's a tough work. So I'm not sure where we're going, but I would like to see Joomla 6 and 7 and 8 not change at all, and so that we can focus on improving Joomla but not breaking it. That'd be great. There are plenty of things to be improved, of course, and if we can do that without breaking things and having people not enjoying the benefit because they have to rebuild their website, that'd be great. I'm very happy to see, and this started last year, that we have gotten back to having multiple conferences, live in-person conferences, and I would love that people that are attending or listening to you and subscribers to your channel, I would encourage them to go to Joomla Days if they can, because there's been this year alone, I'll be attending Joomla Day USA. I missed it. I could not travel, so it had to be online. But there's Joomla Day USA. There was Joomla Day Netherlands. I'll be going to Joomla Day France, to Joomla Day Spain, and Joomla Day Germany, or German language. So I'm pretty happy and pretty stoked, and I think that's a sign of vitality from the community, that these conferences are back online, not online, but back in person, and people are again gathering, and they keep on going. Like last year was really the first year where we had in-person conferences happening, and this year all the conferences that happened last year, they are doing it again this year, today in 2024. So it's going to be that's a good sign of vitality. So I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah, J-Day USA in Austin I went to last year, and that was really good. I did not go to Nashville this year just because I just have so many trips that I'm doing with family and with the conference that we went to for my wife's work and that. But yeah, it definitely is nice to get together with people and be physically present with them in the room if you're able to do that. And
Yeah.
I think J-Day USA too has been it's been also had a virtual component to it. I think budget wise, I know for them the big challenge is getting a space where you can meet and affordably. So they had to have a small space, but I think the virtual component worked really well too.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a good sign. That's a sign of vitality, and we've had some years where we didn't have that. I'm also happy to see, like, if you're honest, you know that some extensions and templates manufacturer left the building. But what I see is that the ones who stayed, and that includes me, we kind of are consolidating, and basically, there's a little bit of consolidating happening, like customers going to the same people because there are maybe less choice. But I'm still happy to see that people like JoomShaper, they managed to come up with an entirely new e-commerce extension, which is for Joomla, which is something quite big and quite it's quite a big job to develop something like that. And so I believe this is a sign that they trust Joomla is going to be around for quite a while. So I'm pretty happy.
Now, it's interesting that you said that, because a few weeks ago I was updating JoomShaper's page builder. Did a video on that and kind of got lost in the weeds till I found their instructions, and there's something. Anyways, they reached out to me and asked me if I looked at their e-commerce thing. Anyways, long story short, they're coming on the live stream next week to show their e-commerce thing.
Yeah, that's excellent.
I said I haven't looked at it. I said, you want to come on my channel and show it? So that's going to be 2 weeks in a row with smart people on the channel. I mean, it's just going to be pressure that
and you don't. Yeah, you can relax. You can relax and ask questions.
But yeah, so that's and I agree with you. The about the consolidation, I think there's a lot of solid companies, and I think too what we see, because every now and then at the end of a live stream we'll take a look and see what's new in the Joomla extension directory, and there's been some sites that companies that I've not even heard of, but all of a sudden, they've got templates. They have like 20 different modules for different things and views and layouts and that, and so it's exciting. I just think it's good to see people. There's people doing that, trying, and but I think too. Like with all of your extensions, when you gave me 4Command to try, I already knew the interface in the back end to look for settings and stuff from using your other stuff and your other extensions. So I think what we'll see, what's good is that as there are companies that have lots of offerings, people will just start using all of their stuff, and it will become it'll be very flexible for them what they're doing. FJ, hey FJ, nice to see you. He says, speaking of extensions going away, do we know what's happening with K2 for Joomla 4.5? Yeah, they just had a big announcement, and they are not coming out with K2 for 4.5, and so it's not going to be.
That's definitely over. That won't happen. There won't be.
Yeah, and so I have been waiting to make a video. I have not made a video about how to switch from K2 back to Joomla Core, because I didn't want to create problems for them in case they were actually doing that. So I guess definitely be doing that in the next while, just to show that. And there's besides the announcement that they're not doing it, there's quite a bit of a social interaction component within their announcement as well.
Yeah,
and
which
I'm just staying out of it now. Anyways, the fact is they're not coming out with K2 will not be in 4 or 5, and if people are using that, then there's a way to switch, and that's what it is. And like Vinny's saying there, it's not any longer necessary. Now listen, my heart goes out to anybody that's got a big product, a big project that becomes not necessary anymore, regardless of whether it's software. Like the company that's making steam engines, and all of a sudden diesel comes out. It's like, oh, or that can happen. And as there are some crazy power users that use, not mentally crazy, but crazy power users of K2 that and apparently it can do some amazing things. But it originally was this can't be done with Joomla. Let's make it so that you can have multiple categories, assign things multiple categories before there was tags and a lot of things. And now the Joomla core is caught up, and it's just not necessary. But
well, you still can't do that. You still can't do that in Joomla. You can't have multiple. You can have multiple categories, but you can't have one article in multiple categories.
Right.
Yeah. I think I'm not sure actually K2 does that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Maybe,
but it's
maybe it was the hierarchy of categories, but
and I think it also creates multiple dimensions of images on upload, things like that. Like it create multiple sizes. So there are a few things, but those are the things that should be, taken from it. And probably another thing is that the K2 was always free of charge, and that's the big problem, because it means they did it not as a product. They did it because they were using it in their projects. They are essentially an integrator. They build big websites for people in their country, and then of course when they don't need it anymore to build their projects, then they are not going to maintain it because it's a very large program. It's a very large software. So that's kind of great. It was free, but it was free of charge. But something comes with it is that once they don't need it anymore, or not really, then they're not going to put the time and effort needed to maintain something like that, which is huge. I mean, it's like
exactly.
I don't know, but it's like moving it to Joomla 4 or 5 is like one person or two persons for many months.
Yeah. Serge has just posted a link there that there is a K2 for J4, because I think some people forked it. But so it is what it is, and I mean, when Joom devs stopped making their templates and their Asteroid framework weren't going to do for Joomla 4, they just let it go to open source, and that is an active group of people that have kept it going and still working, and that liked it. But then also there's the well, if I'm going to switch, or if that's how things are, why not switch to something that seems like it's more commercially established? Because I can't, if you have a big product that's free and you're changing other things and you got your business and you're trying to put food on the table, you can't just stop and not make money for a couple of months to put something out for free, especially when it's really complex. So
and it's not 2 months.
Yeah. Bjorn says, request for an extension to create more than one category at once. He says he knows that there's one already, but it's not good. So
I'm not sure what that means.
Well, I think he would want to, if you're setting up a site, you would create a category. So it would be like cats, big cats, little cats, and just do it all at once. But
it's funny you say that, because in 4Command, one of the things on my tracker is not exactly that, but it's something that to create sample content, if you will, like create 20 articles or create 50 categories or 10 contacts with random content. So it's not the same thing, but it's somewhat related.
No.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, if we look back at even look back at early Joomla 3 days, like the first Joomla 3 versions that were out, to what we have now, it's just we just forget slowly everything that's built into it, and that is in Joomla 5 and in 4 and the API, and just how it's working, and we're kind of through the early days of Joomla 4 and Joomla 5 too, where we get up into out of the 0.0 and things are really nice and established and going smoothly, and All right. Well, I know it's late there for you, but
Not really. It's
oh,
okay.
okay. Well, we'll
It
talk for
could be.
another
It could
couple
be
of hours
worse.
then.
Yeah, it could be
Could be
worse. It
worse.
could be worse.
Is there anything else that you on your mind that I haven't asked about to talk about, or anything?
No, no. I think we're good. Again, people, please attend Joomla Days. You know, if not live, at least online, because many are going to be online. But I'm so happy to meet people when I'm going there. So that'd be great.
All right. Vinny says Joomla 5 is amazing. Looks forward to seeing what they do next. So, yeah, that would be good.
Cool.
Well, okay, let's wrap it up there. Everybody, it was great to get back to spending a Wednesday morning, at least Wednesday morning with me over lunch again. And like I said, next week we're at JoomShaper's gonna, and the name of the fellow escapes me right now, but we'll be here showing their new e-commerce extension. What is it called? Someone will type it in chat.
Yep.
It's
Easy Store something.
Oh yeah, I think
Easy Store.
yeah, Easy Store. That's
Easy
right.
Store.
Bjorn just typed it. Yeah. So we'll have that next week, and lots of other things that are. Oh, that's right. Kassar. No, it's not him. It's one of his. It's one of his employees.
You're welcome.
So, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's,
Yeah.
not cheap. All right. Well, I have to find the sad music here. The sad music we play whenever the live stream is over. But Yannick, thank you again. You're always welcome to come on and talk a long time, or even just to show something quick, and or even if you want to just do it, doesn't even have to be live. We can make.
Yeah, I was sure it would be short and quick because it's a much smaller extension. But in the end, it's like an hour and a half anyway.
I know, because you're out of control, making it awesome, and
Yeah.
adding things to it.
Let's see. Yeah. Or I talk too much.
Good.
Maybe.
All right.
All right.
You stay on.
Okay. Thanks for having me.
Okay, I'm glad you're here. You stay on after the sad music is over here. We'll
Okay.
be talking just a little bit and I'll say bye to you. But everybody, thanks for your support
Bye-bye.
of this
Bye,
channel.
everyone.
Thanks for your time today. And until as usual, I hope that wherever you are, be it morning, afternoon, evening, or tomorrow, that this finds you well. Until the next time, enjoy your Joomla sites and God bless.